of Learn with Jason. Today on the show we have Maricris. Thank you so much for joining us. How you doing?
Hi, good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you on the show. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We've worked together on a couple things in the past. I was on your show, and so here we are. The shoe's on the other foot, and I will try to do as good a job for you as you did for me when I was on your show. So for folks who aren't familiar with your work, do you want to give us a little bit of a background on who you are, what you do, all those good things?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so by day, I am, well, first of all, my name is Maricris Bonzo. And by day, I'm advocating for developers at Magic. So I'm pretty much adding a lot of Magic authentication to a variety of Jamstack, no code, and blockchain apps. And by night, I'm building a DAO. So that stands
Okay.
for Decentralized Autonomous Organization for women in Web3. And so I'm spending a lot of time learning more about DAOs and figuring out how to build it with
Hmm.
the members of the Women in Web3 community.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm very passionate about building community and coding. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. What's up, Adrian? Thank you for the sub. 2 month streak. Thank you. All right. So today we're going to be talking about magic and specifically passwordless auth, which when I hear that said out loud, it kind of sounds like an oxymoron because how can it be secure if there's no password, right? So what's changed? Like what's different in this setup?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the difference is, so with regular, the mainstream way of authenticating into apps is you need a username or an email address and a password.
Hmm.
And what usually happens is that password is stored in, the developer's server.
Hmm.
And so you can only imagine if that developer was, for example, Facebook, they pretty much have like a honeypot of passwords and like user information that is prone to hacker attack.
Okay.
So that's like the security issue with passwords. And so that's why moving forward, or actually now, passwords are becoming more obsolete and companies or the tech
You
industry.
hackers,
Oh my
you
goodness.
dirty hackers.
That was so loud. Why is it so loud today? Okay, sorry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, dirty hackers. But yeah, so the industry is moving towards a passwordless future, which means, it can mean a variety of things. But with Magic, we pretty much have, well, we actually offer a variety of social login methods, but the most popular one is logging in with your email address only. And
Mm.
then, you get a link sent to your email address asking you to authenticate. And so you click on the link and then you are authenticated into the app. So that's pretty much what one of the ways to do passwordless authentication
Okay.
that is more secure.
So the difference here is that in a more traditional username and password setup, you would be expecting the company to do all the security things because they're holding onto the passwords and they're holding all of the user information in one place. And
Yeah.
in a passwordless situation, what you're doing is you're letting the user control their own security because if you keep your own device secure, then somebody can't like hack the company and get your information. They could only get your email address. They wouldn't be able to gain access to your account unless they were able to also gain control of your email.
Yeah, that's pretty much correct. There's a lot to unpack there when it comes to phishing attacks, but
Hmm.
that's generally the right idea. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So this is and I thinking about this now. I've used these. Like I was thinking I was like I don't think I've ever used a passwordless auth, but that's actually not the case at all. I've seen a handful of different things where you request a login and then it emails you. You click the link and then you're logged in. I've also seen it where you log in by like proving that you own your phone. So you you have to enter a thing, or like if you log in with a CLI and it takes you to the app and it says, hey, did you mean to give this CLI permission? And you say yes, and then the CLI is logged in with no passwords. So there are a lot of different ways that you can do passwordless auth that I just wasn't really thinking about. But I guess this is more common than I thought.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So this is, it's also just convenient, right? Like I think one of the things, so it gets easier with password managers. Like I use 1Password, and it usually means that when I go to a site, I don't have to remember a password. I just click the 1Password button, and it's like, great, I got you, and it logs in for me. But when I'm not on my computer, it's such a pain because I use a different password for every app, and it's like a password that's not human readable. They're like, generated long strings. And so then I've got my phone open and I'm looking at this horrifying string and I'm like typing it one character at a time, and I always screw it up, right? Like, so that part of passwords, like I appreciate the security of it, but it's really a pain when you get off your own machine.
Yeah.
Whereas with passwordless, if I've got my phone or if I've got my email account that I can get into, then I can log in on any machine without having to like henpeck one character out of a 35 character random hash, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So that is, I think that's interesting. So how does Magic approach this? Because what you're like, I guess what I'm thinking is, we're talking about, there's still a password, right? Like the password is, I have access to my email instead of being a string. So what happens, or what changes in the way that you think about building apps when you're using this passwordless flow? Where does the control go? Like, instead of trusting the centralized app, you're trusting the user to manage their own security. Where does Magic come in, and how does trust factor in there?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, to answer your question, the control does go to the user. Mm-hmm. And the way Magic is really more magical than other authentication solutions is that when a user logs in, what Magic gives them, instead of having like a password, Magic generates a public and private key pair. And that is what is used to authenticate them to the app in future sessions. So, the passwords are actually another differentiator with Magic is that we're not just like authentication solution. We are also providing like a wallet for users to store their public and private keys, and which means we have a key management solution where we store those keys. So we have a non-custodial like delegated key management solution to do that. Okay.
I mostly follow the. We're starting to get into territory that I know nothing about, so I'm going to be leaning on you heavily to explain what things are. So when we talk about this, actually, it might be easier if we just look at it, because I think I'm going to start asking questions that are pretty abstract here. So if you don't mind, I'm going to switch us over into pair programming view. Okay. And let's start by giving a shout out to our closed captioning. We've got Jordan here with us doing live captioning from Whitecoat Captioning. Whitecoat's here every show, helping make this show more accessible. And then that is made possible through the support of our sponsors, Netlify, Fauna, and Auth0, all kicking in to make this show more accessible, which I really appreciate. We are on with Maricris, who is Seamcat on Twitter. So you can go and find a link to follow her. Make sure you go and do that. And we're looking at, it's magic.link, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the service that we're using today is magic.link. So you can go and check it out there. And if I want to get started, where do I start? Do I build an app first? Do I start with Magic? What's the flow here?
Usually, well, as a developer myself, I would go into the docs and understand, how the how the technology works. But once you get a feel for that, then you can go to login or get started, actually.
Get started. Here I go.
Yes, to the upper right. And then you can sign up for your free trial.
Okay, here I go. All right.
This is like our technology. So you're using Magic to be authenticated.
Okay. So I just got an email that I will show everyone here that says click the button to log in, right? And so I'm going to click that. And okay.
And
all right. And so now both of them are here on this tab, so I'll close one of them and I'm now in. Okay.
yes. So so now the question I want to ask is I think it would be fun for us to do like integrate Magic with an Eleventy template. So are you cool with that?
Yeah, we can use an Eleventy template. So just any Eleventy template?
I think I would suggest using Stephanie Eccles because that's the one that I've used as well. If you go to her tutorial, create an Eleventy site from scratch on Egghead, you should be able to find, yeah. And I think if you start watching, it'll give you like a source code on GitHub. We want to get the last like lesson source code.
The last lesson source code. Okay, so here's this one down here.
Yeah, and then we want to git clone this one.
Okay, got it. All right, let's see. How does one get just? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clone. Let's make a directory called. We're gonna call this Magic Eleventy Passwordless Auth, and I'm gonna move into it. And then inside here, I'm going to clone. Oh, so we would need to add code. We do need to add some code. Let's get this in here. And then what I'm gonna do is copy the lessons. Where am I? Let's copy, copy Eleventy lessons, and it was lesson 5. And we're gonna not CD, copy it. And let's just do one of these so that I don't miss anything. So now there's our Eleventy external data. So I'm gonna remove the Eleventy Egghead collection, and now I should have copied everything inside of it, not.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, let's try that one more time. So we're gonna copy everything to right here. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this 05 and I'm gonna npm install. And I think that I miss this eleventy.js. So let me just grab this whole file. And
your terminal game is strong.
I have the GitHub CLI makes a lot of this stuff just so much more approachable.
Yeah.
Because you only have to know the names of things, which is really nice. So let me drop this in, and then I can come back here. Let's copy this again. And now what I want to do once this is done, and let me drop a link to this Eleventy site from scratch, because that's also that's a good one. We should make sure that shows up in the notes. Okay. Are you done, or are you doing things?
Looks like it's still doing things. Oh, it says completed. Interesting.
I think it might just be, it's doing something in between downloading RxJS here. If this doesn't change in a second, I might stop it and try again. Hello? Okay, I'm gonna stop it. All right. So let me open this up. And inside we have node modules. We've got all this. Let me create this .eleventy.js, and we'll put, nope, not that. We'll put the content of this file in there.
Mhm.
Okay. And now let's just try to npm install one more time and see how this goes.
Okay.
Is this just a really big file, or is something going on here? I don't know enough about RxJS to know.
Yeah,
Wait, why are we even getting RxJS? Must be because of Sass, I guess.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But if that doesn't work, do you want to just, I'm not sure how these these sessions work, but is it okay if you just install the GitHub repo of the code that I've written, and then maybe we can just start from scratch for each of the pages?
Sure. Yeah. We can totally do that.
Okay, let me send it to you per email.
Okay.
This is actually like maybe the first coding session I've done live stream.
The live stuff is, I mean, the blessing and the curse of live stream is it's fun to see how the getting started experience works, and also you get to see how the getting started experience works. Things are gonna go wrong, things are gonna go weird, and that's what makes this fun. If there was no chaos, why are we even here?
That's true. That's true.
However,
just sent it to you in an email.
Oh, what's up? We got I see Ben in the chat. I see Brandon in the chat. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Still don't know what's going on with this, so I think we're gonna give up on that one, and I'm going to get you emailed it to me?
Yeah, I emailed it to you.
Okay. I'm looking.
Let me send it again.
Thank you for the host, Nettings. Hey, Clue, thank you very much. Let's see. All right, I might have to go and find you on GitHub so that we can do this. What's your GitHub?
Oh, it's Seamcat, SEEMCAT.
Okay, and is the repo going to be toward the top here?
I think it might be. It's called Magic Eleventy. If you want to search for it.
Spelled Eleventy or number Eleventy?
Number Eleventy. There you go.
Okay, Magic Eleventy. Let's get this one, and I'm going to move out here. We're going to remove this one that wasn't doing what we want, and instead we're going to GitHub clone this one. Oh, GitHub repo clone this one. Okay, so let's get that. I'm going to npm install. I'm now wondering, there was a little bit of an outage today on US East 1. So if this also hangs on us, no, that one just worked. I don't know what was going on. So, all right. Something was goofy in that repo, or my computer hung up on it, which is probably the more likely case. But this one is doing exactly what we want, and we
Yay.
have ourselves a repo. Let me close this one out so I don't accidentally end up back in it. Okay, so in here, we've got a handful of things going on, and let's take a look at, we've got a login, we've got our profile.
Yep.
All right, what should I be looking at here? Like, where should we start?
Yeah, so let's start by deleting some pages so that or folders so that we can like restart them. So let's go into the public folder and maybe just go into the login page.
Okay.
And yes, go in there and maybe just go down real quick. Yeah, let's just delete all that's in there.
Like everything in the body?
Yeah, everything in the body would
Okay.
be, yeah. All the script tags, actually. we can
Okay, so
delete.
all the
And
script
then,
tags are gone.
yeah.
Should I keep the form so that we don't have to, I guess we can get rid of this, but that way we don't have to write the form itself. We can just kind of keep this here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then
Okay.
yeah, and we can do the same for logout too.
Is this,
We'll just get all the
oh, wait,
template
did I
ready.
just do something?
Oh, I think you went into a different.
Okay, okay. I was just looking to see, make sure I just got myself confused. Okay.
Oh, okay. And
All
then
right.
let's go into the logout HTML file.
I think okay, so here's what I'm confused about. I think Eleventy is going to generate these files. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we need to be deleting in here. So I'm going to delete here, and then I have a suspicion that this layout is going to be what has all of the, yeah, here's all the magic stuff. So I can clean all of this out. All right, and then in here, that all looks right. Let's ignore that for now. And then, so we've got the login has a form that pulls from our header.nunjux, which is now empty.
Mm-hmm.
And do I need to clear anything else out?
The profile page.
The profile page. Okay, so
Yeah,
here's
the
the
profile
profile.
MD file. Mm-hmm.
And
Let's clear out the script tags.
gone.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
All right. Okay. So
Look at
yeah,
Copilot trying to write this for us.
I know. Honestly, let's just use that later, but I'm just kidding. So yeah, first thing you do now that you got your template set up is we got to set up Magic, right?
Okay.
So, well, actually, before that, you set up the pages, which we already have. The simple pages we're going to have are the login, profile, and homepage.
And if I run this, we should be able to see these, and they'll just be empty pages. So let's
good idea.
do that. Here we go. Log in to see my blog. We've got login. Okay, and then we've got profile. There it is. Okay, so there's a simple site. It's got all the things we need. And now I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So we will start by setting up Magic.
Okay.
So let's go into the header file, header nunjux file.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
And is this like, because I know that some of it came from CDN and stuff, right? So is there like a getting started page that's gonna give me all this stuff when I set up, or like where would somebody else be if they were kind of following down this path, right? Is it in the docs maybe?
It would be in the guides. We have a tutorial that I'm using as a reference.
Got it.
So if you go into the guides on the left-hand side, all the way up, if you scroll all the way up,
Guides,
there's a guide.
got it.
And then if you look for Eleventy, you'll be able to find the tutorial that we're following right now.
Got it. Okay, so I'm just thinking I'm gonna have to copy paste some SDK stuff, so I want to make sure I've got that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so in the login, where was the header bit?
Yeah, so we're gonna set up the header. So if we're in the section, set up header. So you can just copy this Magic SDK script.
Okay.
And then initialize Magic with that. So what we're going to do now is, so it's asking for our publishable API key. So we're going to get that from our dashboard.
And I think I saw this right here. So here's my publishable one. Now this one doesn't need to be kept secret. So I can, because it's going to go into source code, which means anybody can find it. It'll be available in what's published on the web.
Yes.
I'm also feeling like I should install a Nunjux so that we get some syntax highlighting here, because this is kind of hard to read.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so that's working, which means now, okay, there we go. Much better.
Okay, so that's Honestly, all you need to set up to incorporate a logging in method. So if you
Oh,
log in, I guess no, the pages have been set up already, but that's all we need to set up with Magic. And if you log in now, it should be able to work.
so
Um,
we have to make it like
oh,
click, right?
I'm jumping the gun. Yes, we do. Well, yes, we have to make it click. So, yeah, now we're done with initializing the Magic SDK. Let's go. Let's stay in the login page.
Stay in the login page.
Yeah, and
Okay.
start adding some stuff in there.
Okay.
So, in the login page, this is where we're going to be using the Magic SDK. So all we need to do, we're already, the Magic SDK is already accessible on all the files. So
Okay.
let's first grab the elements of this UI. So let's make sure that we have the form, the input, and the result.
Oh, Copilot.
Who's complaining?
I love it. It's so nice.
I know. Okay, so now we want to, when the user passes in their email, we want to call a function. So let's make sure we're listening to that on submit.
What have you
action.
done, Copilot? Is it perfect? Is it already done?
Not really.
Okay,
But
all right.
Yeah, we can change it.
Here's what we can do is we'll do a handle login function, and that's going to take an event.
Yeah.
All right. And then for now, we can just say like to do. And then down here, we can say form.addEventListener handle. Yeah, okay.
That's perfect.
That's what we want. And then
Yeah.
I'm also going to prevent default here so that it doesn't actually submit. All right.
Right. And now we need to grab the user's email that they added. So let's store that in a variable. We also, cool. And yeah, now this is the email that we're going to need to pass into the Magic SDK method called login with Magic link. So if you access Magic,
and is it just like?
I think we defined it in the header.ngk as lowercase, remember? So there you go.
Lowercase Magic, got it.
Yeah. So let's call that magic.auth. So we won't it's going to return a promise. So we need to, wait for the promise.
Gotcha.
But when we call this with the email address passed into it. And It needs to be within a object. That's what it's expecting.
Okay.
And so, so what it's going to return to us is, Magic is going to authenticate the user, and it returns a DID token, which represents, your access into this app.
Did you say DAD, like dad?
Yeah, dad token. I'm just kidding now.
You get a dad token. Okay, what did you actually, was it DID?
Yeah, DID.
DID. Okay.
It stands for it stands for decentralized identifier token, and it has to do with how the technology works in the back end. We pretty much like the way the public and private key addresses are created are thanks to the standard DID specification. So that's what we incorporated into that.
Got it. And does this return just the token, or is it like an object that I have to pull the token out of?
No, it just returns a string of the token. Yeah. And this token has by default a 15-minute lifespan, but with Magic, you can extend that lifespan to like days if you wanted, because some apps would want that.
Okay.
Don't you love how it also gives you the comments?
I know.
Like, well, commentary.
At some point, I need to get somebody from the GitHub Copilot project on here just to talk about all the amazing things you can do with this, because I've seen people, you can write a blog post with it. Like you can put a headline in and it'll just write prose, and it's surprisingly good.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yeah. So now that we have the token, we can just display it into the page if we wanted.
Okay.
But that's not really necessary. But if you wanted, go ahead, display it. And now, ideally, when the user has been logged in, we want to take them to the profile page. So let's do that. But we only do that if the token exists, because sometimes, the user will log in and it will return an invalid token. It will return nothing. So we need to make sure that exists first. I do see like a minor error because I didn't explain. So magic.auth and then .login with magic link is the right method.
Login with magic link?
Yes. There you go.
Okay.
All right. And that should...
That's the thing?
That's the thing. And now we can test it, I think.
Okay. All right. Let's try it. I'm actually kind of... So I thought I was going to have to wait and like do some checking and polling and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about this. Let's give it a shot here. So here's my site. Am I in the wrong? So here's my login page. So I'm going to log in. Wow, it just did the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go check my email. And I'm clicking the button. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's pretty amazing that just like worked on the first try. Very handy.
Yeah, it is. And so what happened there is, magic, what you just enabled is the magic iframe, right? Mm-hmm. So when the user logs in, the magic
buckets, did that just work?
Their DID token, it's being validated by the magic iframe. So it prevents like attacks, like phishing attacks, because it's like more secure than if you had done it in the browser by itself. Yeah.
Okay. Adrian is asking, is this,
does that just work?
Can it be localized? Like, can you do it in different languages if you want the iframe to show, Spanish, Portuguese, French, whatever?
Yeah. We do provide localization. We support like 30 plus languages. If you
And is that just based on the browser language?
That's a good question. You're going to need to specify the locale when initiating magic, actually.
Okay. So if I'm in here,
yeah,
then I would just like add some options.
Yeah. Not in there. Oh, actually, yes. Sorry. Yes, in there. You would add a comma and then start a new, and then add locale.
And we could do like what? ES?
ES is good. And
ES will work? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Now I'm going to log in. Oh. ES should be Spanish, which is the only language that I can kind of read. Like my Spanish is bad, but it's at least not non-existent. Oh wait. Oh no. Oh, because we've already tokened. Let me use let me use a different email. Hey, look at that.
Hey.
That's beautiful. Okay, so now let me turn that off so that I actually remember. I won't be able to follow any instructions in Spanish. Cool. Okay, very cool. All right. So now that we can log in, I can get to my profile. And in here, what we haven't done yet is we haven't like checked to see if somebody's allowed to be here.
Yeah, we're actually going to do that. Oh yeah, actually we can do that right now if you want.
Okay, sure.
I think that's a good idea. So yeah, right now, like regardless of whether or not you log in, you can just add the, endpoint and get there.
Hmm.
So with that, we want to go into our header file.
Into the header we go. All right, I'm here.
Yes. And what we want to do is um, we're going to be manipulating the navigation links in here.
Okay.
So actually, we don't even have a navigation bar yet. Sorry, I forgot, but we're going to add them in here. So let's add them as just like regular links if you want.
So we can do like a nav,
Okay.
and then in our nav, we can put in some links. So we'll have
Yeah, the home page, the
home.
profile page, and the login, logout.
Okay, there's log out, and we need a profile.
Yep.
Okay. Whoops, if I can spell it. Okay. So now we've got, here's our list of links. We can go to each of these. We've got a login, a log out. I think I actually didn't change anything in the logout page. So I think I just saw Magic do something. So I think it did, in fact, log us out.
Yeah, it did. But we can get to that later.
But check it out. I can still get to the profile. So now we want to fix that. We will. So you said we want to change what we see based on what our status is.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be, this. Yeah. So if we go, what page did you want to protect? The profile page, right?
Right.
So let's go into the profile page.
Okay.
And what we want to do in here is yes, create a script tag. And we want to check to make sure that the user is logged in. So Magic actually provides a method that helps us do that right on the client side. But you can also, implement some of your own logic to check that as well. So it's called is logged in. So we're going to check if is logged in is true. And that's pretty much all you need to do. So if that's true, then, display the page. Or actually, maybe we can just check if it's not true. Then redirect them to the login page.
Look at Copilot just knowing all the things.
Okay, I know.
So what should happen here, if I'm not logged in, is okay. I think my logout button didn't actually do what I want. So maybe we need to build the logout and then check this.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But we did I forgot to mention that is logged in also returns a promise. So I think it would be good to create a variable.
I understand. Okay, so async function. Let's go, check login, and then in here we can move this up, and we'll say const is logged in.
Yeah.
It's going to be await, and then we'll move this.
I forgot to mention, it's probably obvious, but is logged in just returns true or false.
Yes. Okay, great. So then we can say if is logged in, logged in. Kenny Loggins is very happy with that variable name. But using that variable name would put us in the danger zone.
Yes.
I'm unreasonably proud of myself for that. Okay. So this then should do what we want. But I need to console log this to make sure that it's actually giving us.
And we also need to call it. Check login. I don't know if we're calling it yet.
What a great idea. Oh, geez. Okay. All right. So now we have
Oh
actually called the
man.
thing, and in the console, magic auth is logged in is not a
Oh,
function.
sorry. I forget. Sorry. It's not magic.auth. It's magic.user. My bad.
Oh, magic.user. Okay. So here we go. And out to log in we go.
Awesome.
Love it. All right. So now if I log in again, off to the email. Here is I'm logging in. Ta-da. And now we're logged in, and when I refresh, it doesn't bounce me out.
Mhm.
So, and it should show is logged in is true. It does. All right. Okay. So this is pretty straightforward. I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Yeah.
I guess one thing to point out here is that we are building an app now that is completely dependent on JavaScript. Because without the JavaScript, we won't be able to run these checks. Is
Yeah.
there a way with Magic to do that on like, can I check it in a serverless function or things like that where I can check whether or not somebody is logged in without the presence of JavaScript?
That's a good question. Check whether or not the user is logged in without JavaScript. I don't think we have serverless functions
Okay.
capabilities yet, but that's a great question. And I would love to ask, how would that work? Like,
So the way that it works in like say APIs for example is I would have a token and I would send that token with a request to a serverless function as a header or as a cookie or something like that, and then I either get redirected if I'm not authorized with a 401, or I would get sent to the page that I'm allowed to see with the presence of that token. And so, like on Netlify, we do that with cookie-based redirects, where you can check for the presence of a cookie, and then the if you don't have the cookie, you just automatically get redirected away. If you do have the cookie, then you can go through a serverless function to validate that your cookie is still a valid one,
oh
and
wow,
then return the page.
yeah.
Or you can also just do it with like a serverless function to an API call. So in Magic's case, if I have my token that we generated stored in
Mhm.
local storage or something, I could hit Magic's API with that token and say, "Hey, is this a valid user token?" And they could send back yes, and then we could redirect to the profile page.
Mhm.
There's some ways to do that, but yeah, my guess is that there's probably an API in Magic, because if there's a JS SDK, it's probably calling that API for us that we could hit from a serverless function to show or not show that profile page.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but the problem that we're trying to solve here is that when we go offline and we do click like log out, we still want to be able to log out, right?
Yeah. So okay. So if I log out here and I go to profile, it should redirect me after a moment. Oh, I don't think that logout is working. Is it just magic dot user
I
dot
don't,
logout?
yeah.
Okay. So this, yeah. All right. So there is our user is now logged out. If I try to go to
Mhm.
profile, it bounces me out. But if I disable JavaScript, and then I go to profile, I'm in the profile.
I see.
So
Okay.
the way that client side apps handle this chat is to load the user data using JavaScript as well. So basically, you
Right.
can get to this page, but there's nothing here.
Yeah.
And in order to access the page, you have to enable JavaScript, which means that the auth checks work. So that's the way that you solve this problem in client-only apps. And that's a really standard practice. Like a lot of the dashboards that you'll visit on the internet are using client-only. That's why if you try to navigate like a dashboard with JavaScript disabled, it's usually just going to show you a message that says like, "Hey, this app requires JavaScript." It's because of stuff like this.
I see. Okay. Cool. Well, I can follow up with you on what is available regarding that.
Yeah. So in this particular case, we will just keep JavaScript on, and now we have the ability to log in, and we'll protect our profile like so.
Awesome.
Okay. So now that we've got this, can we show some user specific data? Like I'm going to make the assumption that the only thing we know is their email address.
Yeah, yes. So we have a method called you call magic.user.get metadata. And the only metadata that Magic creates for the user is, their public address. And that's pretty much mostly it. Yeah. And we also create an issuer. So let me tell you all what that is. So the issuer is pretty much the decentralized ID of the user. So if developers are implementing Magic on their server side, this would be the ID that you would use in your database as the user ID, the issuer, because that never changes. It's unique to every person. And then we have public address. I mentioned this before. It's the authenticated user's public address or public key. And yeah, this is cool because this value is associated with the Ethereum blockchain.
The Ethereum blockchain. Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty much just, associated with that.
So I know exactly 0 things about that. Let's see. I typoed this. Is it metadata with no capital D?
With no capital D.
Okay. Here's our metadata. So now we have an email, got an issuer. We've got, I haven't enabled multi-factor auth. I have not set a phone number, and I have a public address. So, okay, great. So each of these things is something that kind of identifies my user inside of Magic.
Yeah.
And there's the personally identifying information that I've supplied, but nothing else. Am I able, like if I'm an app developer, I want to add, say, somebody's name. Can I add it here, or do I have to track that separately?
You would have to track it separately.
Got it. So basically you're providing what I need to say that this person is who they say they are. I'm responsible for tracking any other details that I want.
That's correct.
That makes sense. Got it. Okay, great. So so if I want to use this, then what I can do is I can just break this down and say I want their email, and I think the other thing that's in here is the public address. Okay, so then I can, we'll go document, query selector, email, and then we can do the same thing for the public address. And we should see both of those things show up.
Awesome. Yeah. So I understand you you don't know much about the Ethereum blockchain yet. I actually am wondering, when are you gonna fall down that Web3 rabbit hole?
I'm still doing the watch and listen thing right now. Because I honestly just don't have time to actually dig into any of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So chat, if you've been paying attention, what I just did is I wanted to show, so here I have access to my own identifying information. If I disable JavaScript and I reload this page, I can get the page, but I can't get the information. So this is kind of what we're talking about by making it client only. So that's kind of the approach that you take there if you don't want to build out the server side of building a secure app.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So we have our login page, our profile page, and I guess now let's look at how the logout works.
Yeah, let's dig in here. So we can get into, oh, I don't even have a logout page. Where did that come from? Wait, what?
Oh, is that the thing that we accidentally removed earlier, maybe?
Did we fully remove it?
I don't think.
Where does that page come from?
No. It's my fault. Let me hold myself together. There's no page. Sorry. There's only a link, and it's going to be in the header.
Okay, great. So there's no page. There's only a link. Good.
Yes. So in here, we're going to use another method of Magic's called logout. It's pretty much called logout. So what we want to do is add, I guess we already have the logout navigation link, and now we want to make sure, yes. So when they click on it, we want to call, let's see, magic.user.logout. And the same way that
async,
we call,
right?
yes, async again, like all the other methods.
Okay, so we're going to await magic.user.logout, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then we can send somebody to window.href and let's send them to the home page, right? Like after you've logged out, because if I click the logout button, I don't necessarily want to go straight back to a login form.
That's true.
And so now what we should see here is that if I click this logout button, it should remove my access. It didn't do the thing. Oh, it didn't do the thing because I didn't reload. Hold on. Nope, it didn't do the thing because I did something wrong.
Let's see.
Cannot read properties of null. Document.query selector logout. What am I doing wrong, chat? Window location href. Ha 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 ha. That's one thing that I did wrong. What else? Because it's not even handling my cannot read properties of null. Reading event listener. You exist. Don't you lie to me. Document.query selector. Okay. So let's make this problem smaller. We're gonna get the logout link is gonna be that, and then we want this logout link dot add event listener, and in between we'll console log our logout link so that we can verify that it's not picking it up. Why aren't you picking it up?
Oh, huh.
Logout. ID equals logout. Query selector, logout. What have I done here? Does your script need to come after the markup? It sure does. Oh, smart. Yes, absolutely it does, because we are trying to target something that won't have been rendered into the DOM yet.
Oh,
good catch.
nice.
That would have taken me way too long because it's not async, and I am so used to operating in like fully async mode that wouldn't have. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you. Finger guns. All right. So this is great. And now if I try to go to profile, absolutely not. You can't go there. But I can go to login, and I can log in, and it pops that up. Go back over to my email. Here we go. I'm logged in. Now I can see my profile. I go to home. I go to profile. Right? And then here's my profile. If I log out, try to go to profile, absolutely not. We did it.
Awesome.
This is really exciting. And honestly, this went, even with me not being able to get the dependencies installed and having to take a complete left turn into using a different code base. And even with some side tracking in there, we were able to get this whole thing built way faster than I would have expected. We're not even at an hour yet, and we've managed to get this whole thing kind of up and running. So from here, everything else that happens is building your app, not necessarily worrying about auth. That's pretty slick. That feels pretty good. So what else, like, is there anything else that you wanted to show in terms of functionality here within this app, or is there something else you want to dig into?
No, there's pretty much nothing else. I think I was afraid that this is going to take way too quickly because setting up a template with Magic is super easy. I guess the next challenge would be for, developers to ensure that the navigation link, displays the right links depending on,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
So here's what we can do is we don't need that anymore because we know that works. And what we can do is let's go with a function called update nav. And
Nice.
that's going to be an async function. And I'm going to, let's add, is there like a hidden, let's see. So we'll just add a hidden class of display none here. And we're going to use that to hide some of the things that we know should only be shown when you are authorized.
Yeah.
So let's just figure out. So by default, the only thing you do is look at the home page. We will then use JavaScript to show those things. And did that work? Let's see. How do I get? Don't know how to get the Sass to recompile. So I'm going to stop and restart. And maybe that'll do it.
I think is.
I just need to do it in the CSS maybe. Where did these colors even come from? Let's take it out of here, drop it into here. Does this one work? No? Okay, where are these colors coming from? I'll tell you what I can do is I can just drop it right in line.
Yeah.
So let's do it like this. Okay, and now, there we go. All right, when in doubt, put it all in the same file. Then, in here, in our update nav function, which I'm going to call before I forget, so I need to check whether or not they're logged in. And we can use the same logic from Magic, which is await magic dot
user that is logged in.
Is logged in. Okay. And then we can say if is logged in, we want to show, why don't we make a list of our links here? We've got our profile is going to be document query selector. How do I want to do that? Let's go with, let's use one of these. That feels like it's probably fragile, but it's going to work for now. This is something, the CSS attribute selectors. Actually, we did a whole session on this with Michael Chan that you should absolutely watch because it was so much fun. Go check that out. Let's see, there's a question here too. Can we make it redirect to a page when clicking on the magic link, like a callback URL, or should we always come back to the original tab? That's a good question. Is there a way to customize the behavior of the login? Like, can I put in a callback function or anything?
Yeah, you can definitely put on a callback function, and like have the user be redirected somewhere else other than that page. So if you you would need to add it in. Yeah. So let's look it up real quick.
I just found, there's like a redirect URI.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah. You add the key into the login with magic method.
Got it. And then at the URL that you redirect to, you need to call login with credential to make sure that it actually finishes the login.
Yes.
Got it. Cool. Very cool. All right. And then I see some other things that are kind of exciting here, like login with SMS. That looks like a fun thing that we probably won't have time to look at today, but is it as easy as the email was?
Yeah, it is. Definitely.
I like that. That's just that like nod. Like, it's going to be great. Don't worry. Okay. So if we've got our profile, then we can get login and we can get log out. And then, so if is logged in. We want profile class list add, or no, remove hidden. And then we want to do the same for log out. But for login, we want to add the class. And then down here, we're going to do the same thing in reverse. Whoops. Copy. Paste. And theoretically speaking, what will happen is if I've done this correctly, which it looks like I didn't, not read properties of null class list, which means it is href login, href. Oh, logout is not. That one's going to need to be an ID. And now we see login. Aha. All right. So I can log in. I'm going to log in.
Yep. That was really clean. Can't wait to see.
And then click the button. Ta-da!
Yay!
Look at it. All right. So this is great. This is doing exactly what we want. And this is the sort of thing that, like, what I like, at no point during this process did I have to try to wrap my head around authentication flows or things like that. Well, so I love OAuth 2. I use it all the time. But the challenge with OAuth is that when you do it, you're thinking about, okay, so I've got my app, and then I've got this app over here, and then that app's going to call a callback function with a token, and then that needs to do this thing, and then that's going to give me an actual token, and I need to save that. And you're kind of doing these architecture diagrams in your head, which is fine. It works, and usually there's a code sample that you can just copy paste and be on your way. But what I like here is that you've taken a similar flow, which is you're saying, give me your email, and then your password is your email. So I go to my email, I click the thing to say, yes, this is me. And then you've abstracted away that, like, callback cycle where you kind of get a temporary token and then you exchange that for a real token, and now you're logged into the app. So I just get to say, logged in, not logged in, continue with my day. Like that's a really, really nice flow. And just sort of looking at it here, like, this is pretty sensible code. Like, is this logged in? I am logged in. I am logged in. Show me these links and hide these links. Otherwise, show these links and hide the other links. And the same thing here. Like, do I want to log out? Great, hit log out. Do I want to log in? Hit login. Right? Like we're in pretty solid shit. This is great. It's intuitive. I understand what's going on. It's low impact because I, as the user, immediately figured out what was going on. I went and I logged in. I never had to reset a password. I didn't have to figure out where I was going to store that. So yeah, I dig this. I'm a fan. What's up, Alex and friends? You just missed us building a passwordless auth app. So why don't we just demo for everybody here everything that we've done? So I'm going to log out. Okay, so we're at home. And you can see we've got a home link and a login link. Click login, and it only asks for my email address. I just realized we should add add a label.
There. Yeah. I do want to. I love the whole like review you just shared on Magic. I love it. Thank you. One like little nit correction is, instead of like a password, you have public and private key pairs. So you can see that, you can think of that as the abstracted version of the passwords.
I got you. Yeah. So got my email address. I'm going to put that in. Okay. It tells me to check my email. So I am going out here. I just got this email. Let me pull this over so y'all can see it. And it says, click the thingy. So let me pull this over. And I'm going to click the thingy. And it says you're logged in. Okay. Here's our app. Now we're logged in. And we built our app to be smart enough to know that we are logged in And now we can see our profile. So we can still go to home, go to our profile. We can see our own data. And if I log out, gone. Only login is back. And if I try to outsmart this and go to profile, it'll redirect me. And then if I can figure out, wait, where's the, no, that's the wrong button. Here's the right button. What button am I looking for here? There it is. Then I can disable JavaScript. And now I'm going to hack it. I'm a hacker now. I'm going to profile.
Oh no.
No data. No data. So this is a single page app with, I can enable JavaScript again. Reload the page. And it's like, get out of here. Yeah, punk. Okay. So we've got ourselves a what I would consider to be a pretty solid app. We've got a lot of good things going on in here. It's secure. We can't get to our private data. It was very, very fast to set up. We did it in under an hour. It's super intuitive. I know my email address. I don't have to look that up anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's secure because I'm the only person who can access my email address. So it's not something that can be brute forced or anything like that. And if I'm trusting anybody to be good at keeping people out of my account, it's going to be like, I use Gmail. So trusting that Google's probably pretty good at not letting people hack their databases. And that's okay with me. I'm okay with that. So this is all the things that I like about OAuth, like using a third-party service for login, without some of the developer setup that I would get if I was going to try to implement OAuth on this app. I just got to drop in the Magic SDK and I'm off to the races.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really nice.
It looks like someone asked, is the confirmation email customizable? And yes, it is.
Nice. And if I want to do that, we didn't really look at the dashboard at all. So maybe you can give us a quick tour of what we're going to find in here. I'm going to clear this so we can see more what's going on. So you can see I'm logging in here.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, well, I got some credits.
Yeah.
We've got users. And the users that's like me, not the, are these users on my app or are these users on my account?
Users on your app.
Got it. Okay.
And if you want if you want other teammates to join you and with this, app, you go to the upper left-hand corner, my team, and then you can manage.
Okay. Got it. All right. And so I see passwordless auth here.
Yes. So that is, we have a passwordless login form that you can use. And this is where you can enable other authentication methods.
Nice. Okay. We've got a social login.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can even do the OAuth, like if I want to use Google or whatever, we can just make that happen. Okay, great. Then you've got a login form that already does the thing.
Yes.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So that's login form. And then we can
customize all of these things.
Yeah.
Turn on... Yeah, multi-factor. Good. Branding. Here's the email, so we can customize this here. Oh, this is great. Yeah, this is wonderful. Now, there are a couple things here with the email. Like if I want to, it looks like I can change the color. So let's make it like a dark purple. Good. I save, and then I can probably put in a logo. Let's see if I've got one here.
Nice.
There we go.
Got a couple.
I'm gonna save it. Okay. So there's light customization, but it's not like full. I can't get into the HTML and mess with it.
Yeah, I think for that you would need to contact us to handle that.
Got it. Okay, so that's more of like an enterprisey feature. If I'm going to build my business using Magic, then I would contact you, and we'll work out the price for me to go in and make it all look the way I want it to look.
Yeah, I think for now.
Cool, that makes sense. And then it looks like we can edit some things. So if I and save this. And then if I come back out here and log in again, we should see all those changes I just made.
Yep.
So here's my login. We can see that the colors changed. That's already cool. And then if I come out to my email, let me get it open. There we go. Okay, so I didn't read the instructions, and so I needed to upload a Square logo, but this is great. Here's my customization. We've got some good stuff going on here. I also need to figure out what I did that just got weird because it didn't look like this in the other ones. But still, it'll work. And away we go. Ta-da!
Awesome.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, well, I think we have seen quite a bit here. We can see how to customize it. We got it up and running really fast.
Oh,
So-
can I share one thing in the settings? That's
Absolutely,
really
you
cool?
can. Yes.
So as I mentioned before, you can, extend the session of the user being logged in, and you also have access control. So you can control who has access to your app, just in case you have an allow list, a blacklist. So yeah, I think that's really cool.
And I was actually just going to ask this. You can restrict it to only a domain. So if you're building something for your company, you can say only people with a, like if I was going to build it at Netlify, an @netlify.com domain can build this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's very, very cool. All right. Actually, why don't we let everybody try this? So let's just deploy this thing. Yeah. So I'm gonna git add everything. Let's do that, and then I'm going to GitHub repo fork. Created a fork. Yes, I would. Good, good, good. Okay. So now that I have this, I can git commit everything, and we'll say working passwordless auth. And then we will git push origin. Okay. Then I'm going to netlify init. And we're going to see how this goes because I screwed up my terminal. I broke homebrew and a bunch of other stuff. So we'll see if this wants to fight me.
Okay.
But we'll see how it goes. I have faith. Let's call this passwordless auth magic. Okay, it's going to auto detect everything, so we should be in good shape here.
Oh,
I'll skip the netlify.toml. Did it. Haha. Okay, so now I can netlify open. And we're on the page. Here it is, building. And we should be live in just a couple of seconds here.
Have you ever built an authentication solution from scratch for your app?
An authentication solution from scratch? I have built, actually, no, I did. Yeah, I built like a username password setup, and it was awful. No, what did I do? Oh, is something configured that I need to change? Let's see. It is building to output is public. Got it. All right. So let's fix that. And we're going to say build and deploy, edit settings. It is public, not site. So we'll save that, go back to our deploys. Let's build it again. All right. I think it's going to pull from cache, so it should be even faster this time. Or actually, it might not have cached because it didn't build. It did get the node modules at least, so that'll be faster. It goes faster if you head Bob, I found. Okay. But yeah, I remember back in like the the late 2000s, I guess, around 2008, 2009, I got asked to write an article on security for a really big site, and I wrote up like how you could hash passwords and do all these things. And then it turns out I had no idea what I was talking about. And some like cryptographers took a look at it and they were like, this is trash. And the article was so bad that they had to take it down, and I was completely humiliated. So I've been really kind of skittish about auth ever since then. But with that, we now have a working app. Look at it, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
So y'all can go and log in. I'm not going to look at the dashboard so that I don't show anybody's email address, but feel free to go check that out. It's this is really exciting. I love that we were able to build and deploy an app in just over an hour. I think, minus the time we were talking, that took us 65 minutes ish. So this is really, really wonderful. And yeah, like Matt is saying in the chat, there's so many gotchas with auth. So letting somebody else deal with that so that, I assume that Magic has hired experts on security and cryptography and all the things that need to be done right to handle security and authentication properly. I am not any of those people. Like, Magic would not hire me because I'm not good at it. So why the heck would I build that myself when I could trust, experts at other companies to do those things for me? I'm really, really excited about this. So where should somebody go if they want to learn more? Like, what resources do you recommend, or where should somebody take a look if they want to go further with Magic and passwordless auth?
Yeah, for sure. Our docs has like most of the answers that they can have about how, the ins and outs of the logging in method works. And definitely, like, in the docs, you can see the guides to the upper left hand corner. This is we have like a variety of guides integrating with like Jamstack tools, like Gatsby and other things. And then we also have like a blog, and that's linked. If you go scroll all the way down in the footer.
Oh, like all the way down. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. And then you go to social, we have a blog that tells you a little bit more about Magic. And if you have any questions at all in integrating with Magic, feel free to join our community. Sorry, there's a lot of switching back and forth, but yeah, our Discord is right there as well. Yeah, if you want to join. We'd be happy to help.
All right, y'all. Well, Maricris, this was so much fun. I learned a ton. I think we are at such a good stopping point. We were able to make some really incredible stuff. Do you have any parting words for everybody? Any words of wisdom? Any kind of like final? This is why I'm stoked about passwordless stuff that you want to leave everybody with.
The final thing I want to leave everyone with, first of all, like, I'm so excited about what you built. It was really awesome pair programming with you, and Magic authentication, it does all the logging in and logging out, and user management, like, so easily, right, for developers. And then there's also a future-proof side of things. And, like, if you ever wanted to go into that realm, you can talk about it more later. You can join the Discord server. There's a lot more to Magic than that. That's why it's called Magic. So I think that's all I will leave y'all with.
I love it. I think there's a lot to explore in this space. It is it opens up a lot of possibilities. And the thing that I like about it is that it makes it easier for everybody to just go and learn something. I find that so exciting. I love that it just lowers the barrier to entry to building an app that has an authenticated section. And what better way to try it, everyone, than to go and do some dusty domains? We are running an event right now where we want to just encourage everybody to build something with that domain that you've been sitting on for a while. It's for a good cause. It's going to go to charity. We've got a ton of companies joining in and matching donations. So we've got $80,000 going to charity. The charities that we're going to donate to are these ones here. Each site that you donate right now is worth $400 to charity. So make sure you max out this donation. We need to get about 200 sites launched in order to make this work. So why not go give Magic a try and ship something and make some money for charity doing it. It's a great opportunity to learn something and maybe dust off one of those domains. We've got some really incredible stuff coming out I'm not going to pull any of these up. We'll keep an eye on Twitter. We'll do some fun stuff with some of the creators and talking about these sites, but lots and lots and lots of cool things coming in on the showcase. With that, I think we're going to call this one done. So this episode, like every episode, has been live captioned. We've had Jordan here from White Coat Captioning, and that is made possible through the support of our sponsors, Netlify, Fauna, and Auth0, all of whom are kicking in to make this show more accessible to more people. While you're checking out things on the site, make sure you go and look at the schedule. We've got so much good stuff coming up. We are going to get into UI problems later this week, so make sure you come and check those out. Ciara Crawshaw is going to be here, and then we've got like automation with N8N. We've got Slinkity and partial hydration, which is going to be really exciting. We've got Next and Fauna, so some database-driven Next.js apps. Content, like if you're a content writer, Stephanie Murillo is a freaking genius. Now that one's coming up in February, but make sure you mark your calendar. You can get on the Google Calendar here, or you can follow me on Twitch, and all of that will make sure that you're aware of when things are going live. With that, we're going to call this one done and cooked. We're going to go find somebody to raid. So chat, please stay tuned, and we'll get that raid off the ground right now. Maricris, thank you so much for spending time with us today. We will see you all next time.
Thank you.